Hi and welcome back to the lab. And today here on the bench we have a Kenwood TS-450 which is here for 60 meter band modification. So that means that we are going to open up the 60 meter band because that is a band which was not always free here in Europe for the radiometer purposes. So there are a lot of old units which are coming in to get these modifications, and today we have here our TS-450, which is of course an older radio, but still it is a nice radio. So let's go and open it up and let's see what we can do. Okay, and many of you know that this is not the most critical intervention into a radio, but you know, many of you still have this nice TS-450, and we simply show how you can get the 60 meter band open. So mainly that means that you can transmit on the 60 meter band, because you see I'm right here in the middle of the 60 meter band, 5.355 megahertz, and what we can hear is that of course the radio receives. So that is what all radios do. So they have a wide band receiver, but when it comes to transmitter or transmission, then it is blocked. So for instance, when I go here now and press my send button, so you see nothing happens, so it can't be set to transmit. And that's the reason why we need to do this modification. And you can of course follow along, and you will see that it is really not the most critical thing to do. So let's get started. Of course, so I've already opened here the screws from the top lid, and of course we have to take the top lid away, and because we need to get here to our panel, okay, we also need to take away here our button lid as well, since we try to only bend it over a little bit, but therefore we need to get here to the second screw, which is down here. And I really do this job very often with you know, a machine, because that is much easier and of course much faster. So therefore, yeah, if you have to do it quite often, that is really helpful. And so we can of course lift now here our button lid off as well, and we have now access to our unit. And you see this unit here has both additional filters, so the SSB and the CW filter. So that is always a good idea to have a good receive, you know, because these special filters are always very, very good. Okay, and now you can see what I meant. So we have here this both screws. Okay, and I have to open of course the upper one, and now I have here the lower one, and this one we really don't need to take off, because you may already see here this little slider, and when I've taken off the screws at the other side, then we can fold our user panel forward, you know, and we get access to our controller here. Well, and now we normally can pull it forward and then fold it forward, but here on the other side you may see that for some reason it won't pull out as we need it, and that is because very often, and of course it is here exactly the same, a wire is not long enough here, and that already helps to have here enough space to pull it completely forward. And now you already see what I mean. Now I really get access to our panel. And now you see here our user panel folded forward so that we easily have access. And now we need to get here to our digital unit, and we have to take our digital unit out because the diodes which are responsible for this coding and decoding of a band which we cannot transmit in the moment, yeah, we need to get there to cut off and decode our 60-meter band. But first we have to take our wires off, but we really are able to work on the unit. So that is what we do first. And of course our ribbon cable as well. But that is not very difficult. So this model has this contacts which we really can pull out carefully, not too wild, very gentle, like so. And now our PCB should be free, and that means I now start and take off here, you know, all our screws in order to get our board out. Okay, so all screws are out, and now I can lift here the controller board so that we can get here on its other side. And what we see here on the board are these both diodes, and that are the diodes where we need to get to be able to cut one out, and then our 60-meter band should be open. And we need to cut out the D27, which is here on the foil side, the upper diode. Don't know if you can read it, so let me enlarge it a little bit more. So here the D27 is the one we need to take out. And that should not be too difficult, even here behind the camera, I hope. So let's see that we first put some new fresh solder to the joints. Like so, but is helping quite a bit in order to get diode out. Okay, and then let's see, not the best position here behind the camera, We try our best. Okay, that's it. Our diode is off, and that is definitely all what we have to do. So the only thing left is to clean a little bit the board, but everything is nice, and then we should be ready. Very nice. Okay, no problem whatsoever. Okay, that's it. Now we put it back all in place, and then it should work. But before we put everything back in place, let's first check our battery here, our lithium cell. And yeah, so that is good as fresh, 3.3 volt under load, so that is definitely no problem. So we do not need to replace that. Okay, so everything is back in place, and now the hour of truth. So let's switch in. Let's see if we still receive, and yes we do. So that is very nice. And of course now we want to check our transmitter as well. So therefore let me connect here my LP500 so that we really can check the whole power output if everything is fine. Okay, I hope you can see the power meter. When I now go here into transmit, okay, so we already see that we have output power. Let's see if I can adjust it, and yeah, as you can see, it is possible, no problem whatsoever, and that definitely means yeah, and of course you see that it is going here into transmit, and that means everything is fine. 60 meter band is open. The radio itself makes a good impression, so in very good condition. Our lithium battery is fine. Transmit and receive is fine, and so radio can go back into operation and now can be used on 60 meter as well. That's it for today. Hope you learned something. Bye.